We've got Deepak Balani, Director General at ISMA, joining in on the show right now. Deepak, hi, morning. Thank you so much for taking the time out and speaking with us this early.
Good
Just wanted
morning.
to understand, given that reports are suggesting that the government is mulling an MSP hike for the sugar season 24-25, firstly, is this likely according to you?
Historically, if we look, the government has adjusted the MSP whenever the FRP was increased. As we know that the government has already announced FRP for 24-25 season. The last time the MSP was implemented was in 2018-19, which provided the stability and confidence to the industry. So I believe it is quite imperative that the government increases the MSP of sugar to reflect the correct FRP of sugarcane. I think such an adjustment, if we can make, it will become very viable for the industry and also farmers receiving prompt payments. I think it is very good for the overall health of the sugar industry. I think as ISMA, we have analyzed the cost of production of the sugar pan-India, and the cost of production, which basically on a weighted average pan-India cost, is coming to around 4,166 per quintal. So I believe the government must look at these figures and make this the base for setting the MSP. And above all, I think the entire system of setting the MSP should be institutionalized so that whenever there is an increase in FRP, MSP is corrected automatically.
How much increase do mills want currently, the price hike that is?
See, the cost of production we have taken is around 4,166 per quintal. So it has to be definitely above this.
Okay, that is the ask from the industry. Mr. Balani, morning. The minimum sale price as well for sugar has not been revised since Feb 2019, but cane prices in the intervening period have been revised multiple times at the current retail price of 38, 37 rupees a kg. What is the average industry cost of production and spreads?
So the average industry cost of production, we pan-India, every state has a different situation, different circumstances, and we have collected the data. So as I was just mentioning, the average pan-India cost of production of sugar is around 41 rupees 66 paisa per kilo.
So if the MSP is up to 40 to 41 rupees a kg, how much would your spreads increase by?
So it has to be, it was 31 when it was revised, I think in 18-19. So I think it has to be around 41, 42 or maybe above that.
Okay, fair enough. And reports are also indicating that UP farmers are seeking a 400 rupee per quintal versus 370 currently. That will start gaining momentum in Uttar Pradesh before the current sugar season. Would you concur with this?
I am not aware of this. I think the FRP was already, for other states, the FRP was increased in February and SAP has not been increased. So I'm not really aware what is the government of UP thinking about in terms of SAP restriction. So we will have to wait and watch for the government to take some initiative on this.
Mr. Balani, the other thing is about ethanol. The Petroleum Minister Hardeep Singh Puri recently revised the ethanol blending target also to 25% from 2025. Now with the government's thrust on achieving higher ethanol blending, do you expect ethanol prices to be revised upwards soon? And how much of an ethanol price increase does the industry want at this juncture?
See, first of all, congratulations to the new government. I think the statement by the Honorable Minister has come as a music to the ears of the industry, which had seen a sudden restriction of ethanol production from juice and B-heavy in December 23. So I think going forward, we are as ISMA very confident that the blending program is well on track. And as a sugar industry, we are poised to supply almost 55% of the ethanol which will be required for 20% blending, which comes to around 1,016 per liter. So for that, we have already submitted a proposal to the government asking for revision of the ethanol production from juice and B-heavy for the current season, and also for the juice, B-heavy and C-heavy for the next season. So for juice, I think for the B-heavy and C-heavy, there is an increase. So juice, we are asking for around 73 rupees.
Now that the sugar production estimates have been revised for the year, do you expect the government to ease the restriction on the use of cane for ethanol production? And what about the restriction on sugar exports?
No, I believe, see, at the start of the season, there were some uh, views that the next season is going to be difficult. But I believe with the improved pre-monsoon rainfall, we are also getting a good monsoon rainfall currently in Maharashtra and Karnataka. So I think, and there is a forecast of a very good monsoon this year. There was an early announcement of FRP increase. So that is basically encourage the farmers of taking care of the ratoon and also the crop. So I believe that next year production is going to be moderate 24-25, and we will see a substantially higher closing stock going forward. So I believe government can look, so if we consider our domestic consumption of around 285 lakh tons, so we will have sufficient closing stock of almost 90 lakh tons. I think for in this, considering that a government will keep a safety net of around 5.5 million tons, we still have sufficient for meeting the ethanol program and also a bit of exports of around 2 million tons.
All right. Thanks very much for taking time out and giving us a heads up as to all that's shaping up within the sugar sector and what you believe is going to be the impact. Good to have you on board. So imperative for the government to increase the sugar MSP, says ISMA, and they're poised to supply close to 55% of the ethanol requirement. That's The View coming.